Hey guys, we're back again with the Gold Line Palisades. Andy didn't get to be a part of the filming yesterday, and so I made sure I left it up so we could do round 2 today. And what would you like to see first, Andy?
Well, why don't you take it through the capacitors?
Okay.
Like you've
I'm
been
gonna
doing.
start at 10, because I don't think it did anything anywhere near less than 10 yesterday.
So that's its starting speed.
Well, it doesn't. I don't think it starts at 10 either. That one will spin. One of them will spin for a bit and then stop. Is what yesterday happened with 10. So 11, 12. The fingerprints on this blade, probably from me. Yeah. Putting it in. 13. It's interesting that now that one is fully going and it wasn't yesterday. We're up to 15 now, and this one's not wanting to move.
There it goes.
There we go. Yeah, right around 15 or 16 is where we started yesterday. I've learned in this brief experiment that there's no predicting fans when they are sideways. Okay, so that is 16 microfarads drawing 0.75 amps. By the way, when we turned the gable fan and the blender fans off, it was 90.9 degrees in here. Now it's up to 91. So if there was a good day to test it. Was it you that called this the death fan, or was it somebody else?
I might have suggested that as well.
Yeah. I know somebody commented that on Facebook. I can't
Maybe.
remember if it was you.
The fan o' death.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 16 with both motors in what would be downdraft if they were installed normally.
I can hear the bearing noise on the one closer to you.
Yeah, which it didn't have when I tested it hanging normally.
Yeah, so there probably is some truth to what you said about the Palisades, which is that they put more pressure just from resting on their bearings.
Makes you think about box fans and desk fans and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 17, 18, 19, 20 is 0.92 amps. I'm desperately needing this breeze that it is providing. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
They're well balanced. The rig isn't moving very much.
No, it's not. I mean, I did balance these blade sets when I had the fans hung individually.
It's more balanced than the actual Palisades when we hung it in your living room.
Yeah, well, in our defense, those blades got a little mangled, so
Yes.
maybe that's why. One of them was also loose in the bracket.
Yep.
26. Did I tell you 25 was 1.11 amps?
Okay.
26, 27, 28, 30 is 1.27 amps. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 is 1.36 amps. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 is 1.47 amps, and then high starts out at 2.2 amps, but it's dropping down rapidly. You're also hearing those canopies rattling a little bit too. There's no way to securely fasten them without drilling a hole in the down rods.
One of the as you pointed out in your other video, one of the few fans that actually passes the blender fan test, so to speak.
But
although in a very unconventional way.
Yeah, they didn't. But the funny thing was, though, when I had this one closer to me reversed, I don't believe it did pass the blender fan test. We can obviously play with that. So, let me just turn all the capacitors off. Let it spin down. Up to 191.4. That gable fan really does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's what, only like 70 degrees outside today?
Yeah, it's not exceptionally hot.
It's just the sun baking on the shingles.
Yeah.
It does it up here. We're right in direct sunlight, and the shingles are a dark color. Okay, what combination of reversing the switches do you want to try next? No, I kept a close eye on it when I did it this way because technically speaking, these pipes could unscrew. I mean, I have them cranked in here as tight as you possibly can with all the tools available to me. But I still kept a close eye on it because when they're going in forward, it would just be tightening on itself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, if I were
same principle as with the fan when it's installed normally and you run it on high reverse.
Exactly. If I were to make this a permanent thing, I would drill a hole in the coupler and just put a set screw in there. It wouldn't even have to be like a threaded hole. I could just drill it something, just anything to keep it from turning would be all it would need. Mm-hmm. You know, wouldn't have to actually be cranked on the... Okay, well, let's start with 10 microfarads.
That.
I measured the current draw, not the current draw, excuse me, I measured the impedance of both coils on these motors before I installed the reverse switches, just to make sure I had the wiring right. We're at 5 now, 0.67. And the reverse coil, as we'll call it, is a much higher resistance than the forward coil. Those aren't the correct names, but for the sake of making it simple to understand, that's what we'll call it. Which means that these will theoretically run slower in reverse and draw less current in reverse. This is 15. Wait a second. No, right, no, we reversed them both. So that actually makes sense. I was like, why are they both turning opposite directions still, but we reversed them both.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to make it look and work like a real Palisades, you'd have to flip the blades on one and reverse it.
We'd have to flip the blades on both. And, there's no way to get it to look and work like a real Palisades because both sets of blades are clockwise pitched.
Ah.
We can either get it to look like a real Palisades or we can get it to work like a real Palisades, but we can't.
You can't get both going in the same direction visually and blowing inwards.
And blowing inwards with the blades scoop patterned in such a way to... We can get them... Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but we can try flipping some blade sets around. That's one thing I didn't do yesterday that we can definitely do today. This is 15.67 amps. Just kind of going up by 5s gradually, up to 10.86.
So those bearings scream.
I mean, they're not super loud. I mean, I've had some fans that are still that loud after being oiled. But I will be curious next time I hang this fan in a downward position to see if they are now loud or if they are still quiet. If this were to be a permanent thing that were to be installed, that were to be installed with power applied and ran, I would probably just put new bearings in it. And I would probably opt for the more expensive new bearings. I normally get the cheap ones from Fastenal because they've been more than good enough for every ceiling fan related thing that I've had to do, but 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1.02. 35 is 1.2. Is 1.25. It's amazing how small the difference is when you have two motors on it. High starts at 1.59 and actually draw a lot less current in reverse. Testing the airflow depth.
Yeah, it's kind of scooping it out more, I think, because they're curved, but they're curved the wrong way.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting the same impact that you would with the genuine Palisades.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I mean, it's certainly doing something.
Yeah, but I mean, what I wonder is if it was in a big space with a high ceiling, with the curved blades, I can only assume it would probably still do more in going outward. Yeah, it's scary. Somebody commented on Facebook when they were watching the first video that every time I walked past it, they thought for sure I was going to die. And I responded that if I did indeed walk into the fan while holding the camera, I was going to post that footage.
Yes.
And if anyone knows me, I'm too dumb to, go to the doctor or, or put a Band-Aid on, or I'd just be there bleeding and continue filming. Either that or I'll do what I've often done, which is wrap a paper towel around whatever it is, and then wrap that with electrical tape, and that's my in-the-field Band-Aid.
Great.
Hasn't failed me yet. Okay, anything else with the reverse switches that you want to try?
Well, not just at the moment.
You want to flip some blades around?
Sure.
Okay. Well, when it's done spinning down, then I'm going to stop filming while we flip the blades.
Okay.
And do a separate video for that. Unless you want to film while we're flipping the blades.
I'll probably stop too.
Okay, I mean, you could film with my camera too. Some people might want to see that, but that's not a big deal to me either way. You, which ones do you want to flip first, or both, or what?
Let's just do one.
Okay, and then we can do the second one after that.
Sure.
You have a preference for which set?
Not really.
I would flip this set because then we can have them both pointed out that way, and we can stand out there and see what we feel.
Okay.
If that makes sense.